Hi, I'm Cameron Bonsey, and I am the Vice President of Marketing with Coast of Maine Brands. Welcome to the Growing Good podcast. Usually I can say that more fluidly, but I couldn't because I'm talking to an old friend, Frosty. Melissa Frost, who owns Frost Farms. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Cameron?
I'm doing great. And, as we were talking earlier, I think you and I have known each other almost 20 years,
Yes.
clearly seen an amazing number of changes in this
Yes.
business.
Yep. And you haven't aged a bit. So,
All right. Now, look, let's not get into that. All right. But what has aged and what has changed is this industry. And we think about this at Coast of Maine all the time. It's about our local retailers
yep.
and being inventive and staying progressive and being able to answer all the questions that customers ask and have the quality plants and everything. And you have done this brilliantly at your location. So, tell me, you started your garden center just 10 years ago, 9 years ago. How long ago was it?
Yep. We're finishing, or we're actually not done yet. We still have a lot of season to go, but we're in season 9. But basically 10 years ago, the Frost Farms was started. And it's hard to believe actually that we're at year 9 already. They just keep flying by, but that just goes to show that they're fun and time flies when you're having a good time. So we've had a really great response here in Bar Harbor, and from afar, and just really liking it. And it's fun to every year have something new, try to innovate, try to make things better for your clients. So yeah.
So, when you talk about this, and we always hear people say, I've never worked a day in my life because I love what I do.
Mhm.
And I find that across the board with our local garden centers, the majority of them.
Yeah.
So, how did you get this passion and this interest?
Well, I'll back up for 1 second and say I'll speak for every locally owned garden center is that there are some days when you do go to work and it feels like work, mainly in the months of May and June. But no, for the most part, it's really enjoyable. How did I get here? I graduated from a small Maine school with a
Yeah.
business degree. When I left there, I kind of did something sort of specific to my degree. Didn't pan out to be something that I really enjoyed. And I kind of stumbled my way into a garden center for a spring, just to kind of as a transitional time, and knowing that I always wanted to own a small business. So I worked for that company for about 10 years and then decided to go on my own. So pretty much everything I know about plants is through passion, through experience, and just general, liking of the business.
Yeah, so you get the business degree, you get the plant experience after the business degree, and now you're combining both.
Correct.
That's a great life path.
Mhm.
What are the challenges that you've had over the last 10 years? I see that you do an amazing job with branding the garden center and yourself. And when I say this, I'm also thinking of lessons for our other local garden centers that they might pick up on, and also the consumers that might listen and go, "Oh, she's doing that. That's really cool." So what types of things have been successful for you?
Well, I think and I think for every locally owned garden center, it's a lot about the community. It's people you know. Uh, Customers have trust in you. They recognize your face. They recognize your staff's face. And I think marketing wise, we number of years back, I enlisted Kyle, who is still with me today and listens to every harebrained thing I have to make up. But I think people are always scared of jumping on the marketing train. Hiring someone that knows more than you do, we all know that's a smart thing to do. And also to do the legwork. I think any small business owner, garden center or otherwise, trying to fit marketing into your day-to-day schedule, having it planned out, and putting that hat on as well is not always the best thing. It's great to have somebody that you work well with where you can share ideas and then they can take it from there for you. And I think it's truly invaluable, although I think a lot of people are nervous about embarking on the marketing train. It's expensive, this or that. Well, everything's expensive, and hiding the dime behind the nickel isn't always the best. Our marketing program over the years has really done wonders for us here in Bar Harbor.
So you bought the land 10 years ago. You
Mhm.
constructed a small building, started the business. The marketing side, when did you get to the point where you said, I'm going to outsource this?
Probably right around 2019, probably somewhere in there. One big thing that launched it, which, same old story about COVID that we get tired of talking about, but that was the time, tired of talking about that. But that was really the time when I said, how am I going to get to my customers if I can't get to them physically? If they can't physically come in the store, how can I get things to them that they want? Everyone was home. How do we get them plants? So that's when we really launched our website. You could order online. We delivered locally. And so that's kind of how we kept things rolling. And just from there, that was really the focus of how to, just keep in touch with all your customers. Prior to that, it was a few years of really just building out of the gate. So marketing wasn't really a factor then. It was kind of more of, just getting the whole place brewing and settled into itself. And so marketing kind of came along a little after that, but that was really important at that time. And it just snowballed into kind of keeping with the marketing, keeping with the online sales, and being able to reach our customers that might not be here on premises.
Well, you've got a unique situation with summer residents, a high percentage of summer residents, and then
Mhm.
obviously you have your year-round residents that you can build that one-on-one relationship with. In
Yep.
your case, I'm assuming that your residents that leave for the winter and only are there in the summer are still following you around the country when through your marketing, right?
Oh yeah, yep. A lot of Instagram followers. We also ship a lot of Christmas wreaths. So we ship a lot of them to them and their families. And they're always, even summer residents. Maine is at the core of so many people. They're just in the heart of so many people that they never forget Maine. And a lot of the summer residents we see here in shop, summer residents and locals alike all love plants. And everyone likes to get their hands dirty at one time and, just enjoy the Maine weather and gardening here. And so it's a great mix for sure.
So I mean, the stuff that you put on your website. So I would refer anybody to, it is frostfarms.com, right? Is it
crossfarmsmdi.com for Mount Pleasant Island.
frostfarmsmdi.com? I apologize. I would refer anybody to that because you are reaching a broad audience, correct?
Yes.
And the other piece, as far as a business to business piece of other garden centers that meant say, oh, I'd like to see what she's doing. You do an amazing job of telling who you are. You've done a lot of video content. When did you start doing video? You've made yourself part of it. You've made Rip part of it. You've made your staff part of it, right?
Yep.
So your dog, not,
Yes, Rip, the
I,
chocolate
yeah.
lab. I don't know where he is. He's taking a nap somewhere. He's been haunting people all morning and now he's tired. Um, Kyle, again, my marketing gal Kyle, she really made me rip the Band-Aid off with video because that was never my strong suit.
Yep.
Through school and everyone was like, "Oh, it's presentation day." I was like, "Oh, can I be sick today?" um,
Yeah.
Kyle kind of broke the ice with that. And it's true. And what good actor or not, which it's not for me, but the fact is your customers see you, it's real life. It's here's Frosty. She's gonna stumble over those three words 10 million times. And Rip too. I've tried to train him to be a good actor, but he really mm, he's got a mind of his own. But
Well,
but he's loved.
it's interesting because I think it's you, and that's why people come there. It's Rip, it's why people come there. It's your staff, it's why people come there. What you're basically doing is just multiplying that so that more people see it and relate to it. Nobody's looking for something perfect. They are coming there for you, and then they
Right.
can see you actually. And Kyle, the imagery is beautiful.
Mhm.
So they can see the quality of what you have, the beautiful plants that you have. Oh, and those beautiful bags of Coast of Maine too. They can see
Oh
those too.
yeah, they are
Yeah.
pretty. They are
Yeah. Where
pretty.
do you get
Yeah,
those?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Which we
They are
know
pretty.
that's,
They're right out front, and they're all colorful bags. Everyone loves them.
and we know that's the main reason for your success. I wasn't going to say
Right,
this openly, but
right,
we know that's what it
right.
is.
I made a
Yeah.
bad business choice by only allowing Coast of Maine to absorb a certain footprint
Yeah.
at the
You
garden
should have
center.
let it
I'll have to
take
go fix
over.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, we are
That's
not cookie cutter by any means. We follow a lot of industry standards, but we also do a lot of things that are just different and unique that are part of the personality of this company. There's a lot of standard operating procedures that everyone's always done garden center wise, and we don't do all that. We kind of just sort of run our own little crazy show here of fun and
And it
flowers.
works because you know your customer, right? You
Mhm.
know who you are and you know your customer, and then you're
Right.
promoting the best of who you are. So
Yeah.
that's what I talk to garden centers about all the time. So Frosty, I also hear that you have this really innovative doorstep delivery program that you do. Can you explain to our audience how it works and how it benefits them?
Yeah, so we just started this fall launching our doorstep delivery program. It's really innovative. You're getting local garden center quality plants delivered right to your door. You can just order them right off our website 24/7. And what's great about it is you can shop online when you have time to think about what you want to put in your garden, and you basically get a super high-end quality garden center plant like the Echinacea here delivered
It's
right to your
beautiful.
door. And the benefit of it is we're independently owned local garden center. And so basically you're getting a high quality plant that you wouldn't get at other places or other online retailers. You're getting someone on the other end of the phone when you have questions. So you're kind of getting basically the local garden center experience at home. And it's really
That's a
great.
beautiful thing because we've been talking about that local garden center experience and what you really are getting for great information and knowledge, passion, and being able to call somebody, being
Yep.
able to actually call somebody and ask a question about something you ordered online and have somebody actually speak to. That's
Yep.
an amazing thing. And then you're able to take that local garden center intimacy and spread it actually nationally as a local garden center.
Yep.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and we you can do we do trees, shrubs, and perennials, and also as we get into the holiday season, there'll be a lot of great holiday items to ship as well on there for your doorstep. A lot of people love live plants at Christmas time. You can plant them with your Coast of Maine soil after the season's done. And that'll be a great the new holiday drop ship will be coming along soon. And there's some really great plants on there, like this winterberry.
So
Isn't that pretty?
remind us of your website again so we say it correctly.
Yes, so it's Frost Farms, MDI, as in Mount Desert Island.com.
And anybody, you can ship anywhere around the country.
Yes. Yep.
And do you suggest a time frame? Is there, how long before they would get the plant? Is it 7 days? Is it 10 days? How long, is there a time frame?
Within 2 to 5 days.
Right.
Yep.
They get the plant, they get the personal experience, and they get the local feeling. So I can't
Yep.
think of anything better. That is amazing.
Yeah, you know where the plant's coming from. I mean, I think that's one big thing. We've had some clients order that already shop with us and they've ordered online and had them drop shipped to their house. I think it's a safe, secure feeling of knowing where your plant material is coming from and who's on the other side of it to help you plant it, whatever questions you might have, all that.
Is there a most common kind of question? Is it like, how much do I water this? Or what do you know what types of things people are asking when they get a plant?
A lot of the times it's watering. The other question we get a lot like this time of year is it too late to plant? And it's not. Fall is one of the best time to plant. And if you're a busy person, fall is a great time to plant because you get it in the ground, you water it a few times, things go dormant, and it wakes up in the spring. You're not babysitting the watering all summer long to get it established. Um, so those are probably the two main questions.
What plants are you suggesting and why? What ones are going to be better to plant in the fall? Which ones are going to survive better?
Generally they'll all survive pretty well. I think especially shrubs and trees, they're pretty hardy. A lot of times they're in a bigger pot with a bigger root ball. But really, we have great success with perennials, shrubs, trees, all of it.
And do you have you do on your website, haven't you do how-to videos too, right?
We do. Yep.
So and anybody could go online and be able to see what you're suggesting in the fall to plant
Yep.
and in some of the how-to tips. Are
Yep.
you doing those? I see a lot of times it's your staff. Um,
Sometimes we did them together. Yep. Because that's the wonderful thing too about the staff at the garden center. They don't find everywhere is people that are garden centers that have staff that's knowledgeable across the board. So I try to utilize all my staff to, express their knowledge of planting, because a lot of them have many years experience as well. So
you're very clear. You have video on your website that talks about Frost Farms.
mhm.
Your messaging is very focused on making sure that the people that work there feel valued, as well as the person that come in and purchase. That's what it seems to be. And then there's a ton of celebration. You did, I saw one thing where everybody was having fun. There was this video of people jumping around and dressed in deer costumes and
Oh
doing
yeah,
all of
the
that.
girls have fun with that. Yep.
So it's that personality, right?
It is, yep. And I think just supporting your staff is a big thing. You want everyone to go home at the end of the day satisfied with their job, satisfied they, helped somebody in the right way. And I think that's a big thing. I think people being able to express themselves as employees, and feeling their best at how to help customers and do their job, whether it's displays or, giving everybody some creative opportunities, I think is big. From an employee standpoint.
And the
So
employees, I mean, you said, look, there's standards, there's certain industry standards. We don't always go by those, but you have Frosty's standards, correct? I
oh yeah.
mean,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like oh, I don't know how to say this, but it's sort of an unwritten standard. You know what I mean? The staff sees me with customers. I don't know. We just have a lot of like unwritten sort of blue laws underneath there. You know what I mean? But we all kind of we all kind of get it. And so it's nice because there's not like I'm not down there going, oh, you're 2 minutes late. We're going to
Oh
drop
yeah,
that,
exactly.
or
Exactly.
because
Right.
most of the time they're all here 20 minutes before their shift starts. So I think it's just, I think encouraging and enthusiasm and positive thoughts go a long way, with
Yes.
everybody, and that makes everybody their best self. So,
I agree 100%. And it's what we try to do at Coast of Maine on a daily basis too. And that's why we love working with garden centers like Frost Farm. So thank you for that. And then I also noticed um, an executive assistant. You're advertising for an executive assistant.
yes. Are you looking to
Could
change careers
yeah,
or?
could
Yep.
I get that job?
You
Because,
could, you could.
I could
Yep.
come in and,
That might be a
all,
little stricter. I don't know.
yeah. So one what is your personal biggest mistake on a gardening? What is like what you have failed? Is there ever anything you've tried to grow that you completely failed on?
Hmm. What have we tried to grow that we completely failed on?
Or was there some
Nothing.
sim what's
I don't
that?
think anything's a failure, actually.
I like
Um,
that.
I wish Dave Hilton wasn't retired and he was still here. We buy a lot of young plants from that we grow on, and we grow a lot of our own perennials and everything a year. And sometimes I'll say, Dave, okay, what did we do wrong on this one? So, but I wouldn't call those failures. You don't know until you know that the temp isn't warm enough in the house for the specific plant, or whatever it may be. Or he say, Frosty, well, that was a tricky one. You know what I mean? And or this is why or that's why. So that's never really a failure, I guess. That's just like either we don't have the right conditions to grow that, so I'm never buying it again,
Yeah.
like greenhouse wise, setting wise, or make a note of that for next year, for when we try to grow it again. So I don't know if I can't think of any real major failures, I guess.
So I think that that's also a great message for consumers coming in, that there are no failures, right?
No,
It's a
no.
learning process. And even when you fail, and we know in life that's probably when we learn the best,
Yep,
is that what did we grab from that experience that we can go back in. If people do have an issue when they work with you, they can come back and talk to one of the best staffs in the industry, get encouragement, and want to keep growing. So
of course.
thank you for
Yep.
doing that.
No, we're all living things. So,
That's what it is,
right.
100%. So I really want to thank you for coming on our Growing Good podcast. And I just want to encourage you to, we do a Growing Good donation program where we donate 10 bags of soil to local schools and nonprofit gardens. That another way that we drive traffic to local garden centers, we connect the garden center with that school, credit your account. Hopefully it creates a
Yep.
deeper sense of community and helps you. And we just want to keep driving traffic to stores like Frost Farms.
No, please do. We love to see it for sure.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of our Growing Good podcast. We hope today's chat planted some fresh ideas in your garden and maybe even inspired you to dig a little deeper into your own gardening adventures. This episode was edited by myself and Gabby Sott, published by Lori Hulbert, and music is a Cameron Bonsey original. Don't forget to stay connected with us. Visit our website for more resources and follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest updates, tips, and behind-the-scenes content. We appreciate your support and look forward to growing together in our next episode.